What's up guys, Jerome Bayani here from BSIT 2105, and for today's video is all about compilation of activity in chapter 6 entitled network layers. So let's get started. So I bookmark all the activities in chapter 6 to less the hassle. So let's get started. First activity is entitled IP characteristic. So instruction, read each IP characteristic, then click connectionless, best effort, or media independent to indicate its delivery method. So IP characteristic, first one is fiber optic cablings, satellites, and wireless can all be used to route the same packet. So for this one, I think, hmm, for this one is, let me guess, it's for media independence. So second one, packet delivery is not guaranteed. So for this is best effort. No contact is made with the destination host before sending a packet. So for this one is for connectionless. Will send a packet even if the destination host is not able to receive. So this one is for media. Oops, it's incorrect. It's connectionless. Thus, the guarantee that the packet will be delivered fully without error. So, media independent. I think this was effort. Will adjust the size of the packet sent depending on what type of network access will be used. So this one is for media independent. So congratulations, you have matched the IP characteristics to their delivery method. So let's go to the next activity. The next activity is entitled IPv4 header field. So instruction, read each IPv4 characteristic function and then click the IPv4 header field to which it belongs. First one identifies the upper layer protocol to be used next. So for this is for IP destination. I'm wrong. So protocol. Next one is identifies the IP address of the sending host. So I think this for destination IP address. Oh, let me guess. Source IP address. Identify the priority of each packet. So for this one is this differentiate services. Always to set 0100 for IPv4. So this is for version, commonly referred to as chop count. So for this one is time to leave. Identifies the IP address of the recipient host. So the last one is destination IP address. So this all correct. Now let's get to the next activity. The next activity is entitled IPv6 header field. So as we done lately is the same as this. So for for the first one, identify the application type to the upper layer protocol. So I think next header identifies the size of the data portion of the packet. So for this one is payload length. So is always set to 0110. So low level, no. Hmm. Version. When this value reaches 0, the sender is notified that the packet was not delivered. So hop limit. Classify packets for congestion control. So traffic class. To suggest that all packets receive the same type of handling by IPv6 routers. So the last one is for flow level. So it's all correct. Next, proceed to the next one. The next one is entitled Identify the element of the routing table entry. So instruction, a partial routing table entry is shown. Each selection of each entry is identified by the circle letter above it. Select the correct routing table entry selection for its output. First one is the elapsed time since the network was discovered. So this is the choices and it is lettered A to F. So for the first one is, I think it is E. The administrative distance or source and metric to reach the remote network. So this one is for letter C. How the network was learned by the router. So for this one is for A. Show the destination network. So for this one, I think it's letter B. The next hop IP address for each the remote network. So for this one is, I think, D. The outgoing interface on the router for each the destination network. So the last one is, I think, this for F. Let's check. It is all correct. Now let's go on to the next one. So the next one is identify the router component. So instruction, description of router function and hardware parts are provided in the table. Drag each router component name to its function description. The first description is connect router to external network, usually over a large distance. So I think this is one interface. A way to remotely access the CLI across a network interface. I think this is Telnet or SSH. Connect computer switches and router for internet networking. So this is for LAN interface. A local port which uses USB or low speed serial connection to manage network devices. So I think this is console port. A port to manage router using telephone lines and modems. So the last one is AUX port. Let's check. Now it is all correct. Let's move on to the last activity that we want to answer. So the last activity is entitled the router boot process. So instruction, drag each on the step on the left to appropriate field in the table on the right to show the router boot process. So this activity is by steps. So the first step is, I think, perform post. The second step is load bootstrap. Yo, I think it is load bootstrap. So the step 3 is load what the load down progression files. Hmm, I think the third one is this. Load the iOS and the last one is wait, load down regression file. Now it's all correct. So it is all the all the activity in chapter 6 is done. So that's all the activity in chapter 6. Thanks for watching. See ya.